I think I'm going to really surprise you in this lesson because it's going to be super easy to add in the search. So we've already got the field, and what we want to do is we want to search for within our database. So let's, we've already hooked up search. We've got that submit there, and this is the one for search. So let's build out the code for that. And this is going to be also, this is going to be a get request. And we also want to maybe loop through all the values, so something similar to what we did over here, and we want to put it in the output there. So clear out that output HTML. And a lot of this is going to be very similar. We just need to pick up a search value. So that's one of the things that we do need to grab. So just like we grabbed the value over here, we can just copy the code we've used, and we just want to pick up from our HTML whatever is contained within that search field. So whatever is within name search. So instead of last, let's do search. And let's update this. Instead of last, it'll be search. So we're going to actually search through, and instead of ID, all we have to do is do Q. So really it's truly as easy as that. And search. So whatever the value is that we're picking up from the input field, that's what we want to return back. So we also want to loop through it. So maybe let's console log that information out. So log out the my object information. And remember, again, it's going to be in an array. So we need to actually loop through that array. So let's show you what happened. So this isn't going to be exactly right because we're going to be still having objects, but we're looping through all those objects. So we're going to have to make an update on that. But let's first, let's just test out and see what happens. So see if we've got JSON in there. And in fact, we do. So we've got all of these entries are matching our search criteria. So we've got John, JSON, we've got all the different IDs. So notice that starts at 5 because I think at that point we were starting to put that in. So now what we want to do is we've got a whole bunch of data here and we need to loop through it. So we could do a simple for loop, number of ways in JavaScript in order to pull through this. So we've got, let's take one more look at the way the data is structured. So this is really important because we want to make sure that we're looping through. So the my object is the actual array, so it has a length. So we know that if an object has a length, then we can make use of it within a for loop. So for, and let's just use x, and we're going to loop through while x is less than my object length. So notice that this is a little bit different than last time because we were looping through, iterating through the object information. And this time we've got an array of objects. So that's why we're doing it a little bit of a different format. So this we could probably make use of in a similar type way. So we can loop through and we can output it into the HTML. So again, we don't have the same type of format. So we know that we can output something. So it's going to be in an object format. So we can output x. So x is the index value, and we can do something like first. And then we can also do last as well. So let's add that one. And I'll make this bigger so we're all on one line of code here. So this one's going to be last. And then also let's add in the ID. So let's do it by hand. So .id, because these are all objects. So we should be able to just output them within our HTML. So there we go. So let's try out search. So JSON, we'll search for JSON. So there we go. So we get all of the details. Let's try Svekis. So we only have that one detail for there. Let's try letter A. So all of them almost have A except for number 4. It's got no data. So it's as easy as that to do the search. And there's a lot of power behind it, so a lot of fun too. It's always great when you can accomplish this type of stuff really easily. And it's a great simulation for what you can do on your server, passing over that information, querying the JSON object, and then returning back some data. So go ahead and add that into your application. And then last but not least, we have adding comments. So adding comments to whatever the current item is, that's where we're going to add the comment. And we should also list out those comments as well within that page. Whenever we go next and first, we should have an area here for listing out the comments. So let's set all of that up. Comments is coming up next.